Assalamu alaikum everybody. So today I'm going to speak about what is it like to go to Mecca and what kind of things can you actually expect. So one of the things you'll have to consider is what is it actually like to travel there. So a lot of people don't realize you have to wear the ihram the whole day that you're traveling, from the morning that you leave wherever it is you're going. Now I'll be honest with you, the ihram is not the most comfortable thing in the world. You'll see here in the middle I'm wearing the ihram, and effectively it's two towels, one for your upper half and one for your lower half. And in Saudi it can get quite hot. Obviously it doesn't have any pockets, so when we were waiting at the airport and going through like that, this was, a little bit uncomfortable. But I guess that's the idea. Pilgrimage is meant to be uncomfortable. Now you can't fly directly into Mecca, you have to fly to Jeddah and then drive from there. Which, subhanAllah, is really beautiful because you get to see the entirety of that rocky, barren wasteland that's actually described in the Quran. And it's about an hour and 20, hour and a half drive to get there. You'll also see lots of signs that say Muslim only as you approach. Obviously, you've got to consider as well, where are you going to stay and is it expensive? So like any desirable location in the modern world, Mecca has sadly become very expensive to stay in. Lots of tourists will choose to stay in Jeddah instead because it's cheaper, or on the outskirts of Mecca. The hotel here that I stayed in that overlooks Al Haram, for some perspective, was about £5,000 per night. And this is not considered to be expensive within Mecca, if you want to be close to Al Haram Masjid. But it's certainly probably better Islamically to find somewhere cheaper and less luxurious to stay. Pilgrimage, after all, is also meant to be a sacrifice, so it's probably best to try and not do it super bougie. Like I said, there are options of cheaper places to stay on the outskirts and in different cities. And then as a Muslim, what does it actually feel like to be there? I'll be honest, if you go, there's probably a high chance you're going to cry your eyes out. And it only makes logical sense. If we've all, as Muslims, been praying towards the same direction, the Kaaba, for me for 4 years, but for most of you for all of your life, that's going to be an emotionally overwhelming experience, and it is. The clock tower as well is the third tallest structure in the entire world, so when you look at that, that's a very overbearing experience as well. The whole thing seems so big and so full of history and so full of spirituality. And it can actually be quite daunting, and you have to kind of check yourself to make sure you stay calm and you take in Mecca properly. But subhanAllah, it's so beautiful. And then what is it like organisationally? So you have to have the QR code basically available on your phone at any time if you're planning to do Umrah or enter Al Haram. And you can check which app this is because it changes on the government website. So you do need to be quite rigid with all of the rules, all of your timings. If you've booked to do Umrah in a certain time slot, you cannot be late. At our masjid, we just had a brother who went to Mecca recently and he got his timings a bit mixed up and he wasn't allowed to go in and see the Kaaba, having paid all that money. So it's very important you're always early to everything and you always have your phone. And then what is it actually like as a city? What are the vibes like? So there's actually loads of really nice places to eat, really nice bougie restaurants, really good fast food as well in Mecca. But it is obviously a much more religious city than the rest of Saudi Arabia. As a woman, you do have to have your hair covered at all times. If you're a bloke, I don't think you can be wearing shorts. But the people there are super nice and friendly in general. The problem is with, say, living in somewhere like Mecca would be that eventually your heart would become hard. And what I mean by that is it's so emotional and it's amazing for someone like me to go and see the Kaaba. Would it honestly have the same effect if I saw it every single day? If I always was able to just look, where am I in relation to Al Haram, the Qibla's that way? Would it have the same effect? I don't know if it would. And I think there's something special sometimes, being a Muslim on the outside and having to work to get on the inside. Perhaps there's more reward.